What's up guys, this week I have a brand new foam dart blaster to show you from Singapore. This here is the M20C, a cheaper version of the original M20 from the company Sabre. If you've never seen the original M20, I'll link that video at the end of this one. But basically it's a high air volume manual mag-fed Nerf sniper blaster, which let's be honest is probably a little over-engineered, giving it a price tag of $644 US. This one here, the M20C, only costs $269, which, aside from being a nice number, is also a saving of almost 2.5 times over the original. Now, before I get much further in the video, I should probably point out that the actual color this will come in is not this dark earth color. Instead, Sabre have now got 5 different bright color options that this will come in instead. You'll be able to choose from blue, green, yellow, white, or red, which are a welcome change for blasters coming from Sabre, especially for the international market where you play in public areas. The M20C is fully compatible with all of the stainless steel and aluminium components of the original M20, and is designed to be a starting point that people then upgrade what they want to upgrade. On the outside, it has the same delrin exterior as the original M20, tough as a brick and shaped as one, and able to be used as a makeshift sledgehammer if you ever want that kind of dual purpose out of your foam dart blasters. Just like the original M20, it doesn't come with a grip or a foregrip. This is because it uses airsoft spec grips, which could get seized by customs depending on which country you live in. So purchase your grips locally from an airsoft store or 3D print one, but you can choose one that you personally like. Now, on the inside of the blaster, rather than the stainless steel and aluminium parts of the more expensive M20, the M20C uses molded yellow delrin versions of them to keep the costs down. Because of this, it is limited for use with a provided 8kg spring, which shoots around 185 feet per second. If you purchase the stainless steel dart pusher available separately though, for $95 US, that's all you'd need to upgrade to use the heavier 14kg spring, which combined with their longer 500mm barrel, gets your muzzle velocity to 280 feet per second. With the included 8kg spring though, the prime is so light that I can cock the blaster with only one finger. It would be fairly easy for, say, a 10-year-old to use this blaster, and I'll definitely let my nephews try this out sometime. The overall weight of the blaster is much lighter than the original M22, weighing in at only 1.95 kilograms. The M20C comes with a short 350mm barrel, which is designed specifically for the 8kg spring. It has pre-drilled holes where you could thread some fishing line through and add the scar barrel yourself. Alternatively, it is a 16mm outer diameter barrel, so what you could do is add any kind of rifling that you like. For example, later in this video, I'm going to test the brand new Sabre bearing scar barrel, which uses 30 bearings. One more change that they've made to the M20C compared to the original is it now uses 2 thumb screws to fasten the stock and lock it at different positions. Compared to the original, I'd have to say the thumb screws are an upgrade because it's much more secure at holding the stock in and stopping it from accidentally collapsing while you're using it. Overall though, aside from the weaker delrin parts and the 8kg spring which gets you around 185 feet per second, this is pretty much the same blaster as the original, just made cheaper. I shot it over the chronograph and got a high of 197 feet per second, low of 164 feet per second, and an average of 185 feet per second. After stringing the scar barrel, I got a high of 153, low of 111, and an average of 125. And with Sabre's 30 bearing scar barrel instead, I got a high of 165, low of 154, and an average of 159. The velocity loss with the string scar barrel was so much that I'd recommend just from this chrono test not to use it with the 8kg spring, but I decided to test all 3 barrels for accuracy anyway. Starting at a distance of 20 meters, here's how having no rifling at all performed. With no rifling at 20 meters, all shots hit the target within about a 50 centimeter grouping. Now here's how the stringed scar barrel went. At 20 meters, the stringed scar barrel had a wider spread on the vertical axis than having no rifling at all, likely due to the velocity variations that it had with this 8 kilogram spring. But now for the 30 bearing scar barrel.
There we go.
At 20 meters, the bearing scar barrel actually improved slightly on having no rifling, though I did have to aim slightly higher on the target due to the velocity loss. I then stepped it back 10 meters to a distance of 30 meters to see how that may affect the results.
Hit. 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 Hit.
No rifling at 30 meters had one shot fall short of the target, but the rest of the shots all landed within about a 75 centimeter grouping on the target. So now let's try the string scar barrel, emphasis on try, at 30 meters. In the end, I managed to only get one shot on the target at 30 meters with the string rifling, but to do so I had to aim so high above the target that I couldn't even see the target in the scope. So I'd say the string rifling with the 8 kilogram spring probably tops out around 20 meters. But now let's see the bearing scar barrel at 30 meters.
Hit. Too short. Hit. Over the top.
Interestingly, the bearing scar barrel looks like it was worse than no rifling at 30 meters. But if you watch the scope cam footage closely, just like the string rifling, I had to aim so high that I couldn't actually see the target I was trying to hit. So the variation on the vertical axis could very well be due to user error. Regardless, it seems very impractical using this blaster with the 8 kilogram spring at 30 meters, unless you go without any rifling at all. I then decided to really push this 8 kilogram configuration of the blaster by moving it back further 10 meters to 40 meters.
Short. We hit at 40 meters. Short. Short.
Much like the other two barrels at 30 meters, with no rifling, I had to aim so high that I could barely see the target at all in the scope. And you can actually see in the scope cam footage that I wasn't dead perfect with keeping the elevation the same between each shot. I did manage to hit the target twice out of 5 shots though, which is 2 more times than I was expecting at 40 meters. If you've seen my other videos on the Sabre M20, you'd know that with the 16 kilogram spring, it can reach out to about 60 meters with great precision. But this cheaper version only comes with an 8 kilogram spring, so that's what I tested today. To summarize the M20C, it's an entry-level version of the original M20 at a 2.5 times cheaper price point. It comes in some nice bright color options that weren't available on the original M20, and it's designed to be a starting point that you can upgrade over time slowly rather than paying a large amount upfront. You can also just upgrade the parts you want to. If you're happy with 185 feet per second, just keep it stock. If you want 280 feet per second, upgrade the pusher to the stainless steel one, grab yourself a 14 kilogram spring, and a longer 500mm barrel. Most blasters, when you get them out of the box, need to be upgraded and you spend a bunch of money upgrading the blaster. Sabre have kind of done the opposite here by over-engineering a blaster and then releasing a cheaper version of it. I think this version will be a lot more appealing to the masses with the lower price and the bright color schemes. But if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you click on my face to subscribe, and also here's 2 other videos that you might find interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.